Alrighty. Um, alright, I've got my microphone on. Can y'all hear? I did not mean to move the thumbnail like that. Do. Let's scoot over to the art. I meant to set that to the to-do list. Oh well. Can everybody hear me? I think. You should be able to. Anyway. So, yeah, let's look at the to-do list. We've got a few things going on. This one I started last week, but then in between last week and this week I purged my files. Because the recordings from my speed paints were taking up, I think I had a total of like 64 gigabytes worth of recordings, and I had to clean those up. And while I was at it, I decided to go whole hog on the cleaning up my files, and this was a casualty of that. So I'll be redrawing that in my spare time to make up for it. But in the meantime, we've got Binks Jr. meeting Boomer. We've got a pretty awesome fight between Zenaku and I have no idea how to pronounce that guy's name. I want to say it's Sykes, but I might be wrong. Somebody from the last stream asked for Genji from Overwatch. I clicked off before I got their username. But we do have Genji from Overwatch here, and then another request from GoombaFan3000, and I'm pretty happy with how the pose for that one came out. So, I'm just gonna check the chat one last time to see who's all here, and then we will get right into it. So, that is the wrong window. Here we go. Alright, I'm loud and clear, so without further ado, let's start with Boomer and Binks. Got my reference photo now. Okay, so with this, I am going to have to change the way I drew that paw. Oh yeah, I had a different version of it that was pet shaming style, and it was gonna be something like Binks wearing a sign saying, "I figured out how to open the food containers. I have no regrets." And then Boomer with a sign that says, "I ate all the food. I regret everything." But this was a lot cuter, so we went with this one. I'm on a cute kick today. Between that one Zootopia OC and now this. But there's nothing wrong with being on a cute kick. Cute stuff is cute. Okay, 10's gonna be too small. Let's try 20. That should work. But, yeah, so how's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing pretty well. I know last stream a total stranger was able to tell that I was completely dead tired because I did not sleep. I ended up just kind of laying in bed for 8 hours, and trust me, it felt like 8 hours. But that was better than enough. That was better than nothing. Anyway, I've gotten myself some tea and some more water, and I rested just a little bit in between streams, so I should be good for now. I've added a few more links to the description. You'll notice a lot more of my social media and contact info, as well as a link to my tip jar. Tipping is not required or expected. It's just there to be there. That said, I will be very grateful for any and all tips, but know that I don't expect them. So, yeah, Binks and Boomer are looking a lot more realistic in this one because I'm working from a photo reference. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, did anybody else see that post about the rise in adoptions of black cats since Black Panther came out? That's really cool. From what I heard, there was a slight typo in the original post. The person who had sent the person who made the post the news was using speech to text, and it was actually 15 to 16, not 50 to 60. Apparently the shelters have a really thorough vetting process for potential new owners for the animals they adopt out, and yeah, it looks like all 15 to 16 of those cats are going to be in happy, healthy homes. I remember telling my brother, and he said, "Are we sure, though, that all of them are going to be taken care of?" And then he said, "I think Killmonger's probably going to be well taken care of. But I'm not sure about the others. But now we can be sure about the others. Killmonger is not the only one we're sure that's being well taken care of." There we go. Alright. This line art should be fully closed now. So, alright, I think we can delete the sketch. You know what? I want to give Binks a tail, so there, he's got a tail now. And then I'll just give Boomer a little tail sticking out there. And there we go. Now since they are both primarily black animals, we'll go with a nice dark brown, and then maximum brush size. That is the wrong layer. Fill them in like that. And then, let's see. Binks has bright green eyes. I'm guessing Boomer's are Dachshund brown, as Dachshunds tend to have brown to golden eyes, if I remember correctly. I don't have too much experience with Dachshunds, but I don't have that many complaints against them as a breed. I don't know if anyone is going to agree with me here, but I like most dogs except for Jack Russells. I don't know what it is about Jack Russells, they're just so bitey. I haven't had too many experiences with Chihuahuas, though. I hear those are also pretty bitey. In my experience, though, I have not met a particularly bitey pit bull or boxer or Rottweiler or German Shepherd. Even though those are dogs that are high on the bite list for some reason. I must be meeting the right dogs in terms of those breeds. So that's probably it. Anyway, there we go. And now for Boomer, I'm just going to select that, and then let me look up where the markings fall, because I think I know, but I don't know I know, you know? Nerdy! Yes, I will be doing Genji towards the end of the stream. So 1 second while I look up, black and brown dachshund. Alright, images. Okay, I know what a black and brown dachshund looks like now. Let me actually just save image. Alright, now I can open up my color reference and get the markings right. Desktop. Here we go. So now we can take this, and I'm just going to use my airbrush. No, I'm going to get a little bit fancy and use a custom brush. If anybody wants my custom brush settings, yes, I can take a screenshot of them one of these days. But, yeah, I do use custom brushes quite a lot, because sometimes the default ones just don't give you what you need. There we go. Now let's select in here. And he's gonna have brown paws and a brown little marking on his chest. There's another brown paw. Let me protect Alpha here and just make that a little more pronounced. And then up here I can go in with my pen. That is too big of a highlight. There we go. There we go. Boom and boom. Maybe a second one down here, just to round it out. And then I'm just going to delete the shaming sketch under there. And what color gradient? Hold on. Obviously, because my correction's on 22, I can't write. What color background, guys? In the meantime, I'm just going to move on to this one. I will do the line art on however you pronounce this guy's name, his face. I'm going to do his face and hair. And then I'm going to come back to the chat and see what color background we're going to do. Alright, so we're going to give him his nose kind of wrinkled, and then big yelling mouth. I should probably put my correction back on. Fang teeth, just 'cause. Oh yeah, I downloaded a 3D pose model app called Easy Poser, and it lives up to its name, as far as I can tell in my usage of it thus far. I have a list of gripes with it, but they're minor gripes. Like, they're the kind of gripe where it's not really relevant, because the app was made to cater to a more cartoony style, and my biggest gripe is that I wish it had some more realistic models, but obviously it wasn't meant for more realistic models. That was not one of the goals in making it, so there's really not much of a point in asking for them. You know, it's like looking for clothes at the soup store. That does not look as good when I zoom out. I'm just gonna delete, and I'm gonna try again, but this time I'm going to pull up my reference. If anybody knows how to pronounce this guy's name, please, please let me know, because I'm clueless here. I want to say it's Sykes, but I have literally never heard it pronounced before, and for a long time I thought it was Xenahort, not Zehanort, so Kingdom Hearts pronunciation guide, where can I find it? So let's see, he's got really thin eyebrows. And then I'm just gonna make his mouth really wide. Give him a typical anime bad guy tooth there. And then bring this down. This does not look good, but this is my last attempt before I'm just gonna call it a loss and move on. Alright. He's very pointy. So he's gonna have, he has a pointy ear. I don't know whether to ask if he's Hylian or Elvish, or did someone say Elvis? I don't know whether to ask whether he's Hylian or Elvish or Vulcan, or there's a lot of things he could be, but that's not the point. The point here is he's angry. He scream. Alright, so he's got this spiky hair. And then I'm gonna go and add his bangs later. For now, I'm just gonna let his hair flow majestically behind him, along with his robe. I'm gonna give him an Adam's apple and some neck muscles. Because what is an anime bad guy if he doesn't have neck muscles? Lovingly rendered neck muscles. I don't know. I'm feeling very surreal here, guys. So let's see, he's got his hands around his keyblade here. And I know I said I'd check the chat by now, so I'm just gonna check the chat. So, Cyex. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so now I know how to pronounce Cyex. And the interior of the gummy ship looks like a good idea. I'm just gonna go back and dash that in. So, let me delete that. And then for here, I'm just gonna do a standard gray gradient. Maybe a little on the cool side. And then I'll take an airbrush and just brush in some shadow underneath these guys to make them look like they're really there. I believe it's called ambient occlusion, but nobody cares about technical terms here. I certainly don't. So, next we're going to take this for the wall. Foreground, boom, just like that. Actually, I'm going to go a shade darker and just fill in up there. And then we've got a little stripe of red across here, which I should fill in pen. That's too big. There we go. And then under here I can go view, background color, dark blue, standard space colors. And then I'll just airbrush in some pink and purple, even though I have found that I tend to draw space more like actual space and less like Kingdom Hearts space. Kingdom Hearts space looks weird to me. And then filter, blur. There we go. And then I have a sparkle brush that I can dash in some sparkles with. There we go. Alrighty. I'm just gonna use a darker shade of red to give that a little more because it doesn't look natural. There we go. Okay. I can save that now. And back to Cyex. I'm gonna set that brush back to 10. Alright, and there's that. The Keyblade is going to be very, very rushed. Hold on, I've got some concept art here. So it's got this frilly little guard. I say little, it's probably a lot more intimidating when it's drawn by people who actually have time. So this may take up the better part of the stream, but I think the other two requests are simple enough that I'll be able to handle them. Alright. I'm just not even gonna bother caring about this. I'm literally just gonna dash these in. Close that. Come on. Here we go. I do not want to clear the layer. Come on. There we go. Alright, and then the inside of the thing has this shape, roughly. And then that looks like that. For some reason it reminds me of something out of Sailor Moon, even though drawing this guy as a Senshi sailor, I think that's what they're called. I haven't actually watched Sailor Moon. I need to, but drawing him as one of the Sailor Scouts would be pretty funny. Then pants, because I couldn't really find much in terms of a full body picture of this guy. So he's wearing pants, and then I'm just going to assume some kind of boot. Alright. Yeah, this is looking especially derpy today. Time to add these strands of hair flowing majestically. And then I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and knock out just a little bit of Genji's line art, because if nothing else, I'm okay having Genji be a coloring page that you guys can download and color for yourselves if you want. And I have no idea what time it is because I never look when I go to check the chat. So I'm just gonna zap on over here and pick out my Genji picture. It's gotta be in here somewhere. It's on my desktop, I remember, because I didn't bother filing it correctly. Where's my picture of Genji? Here we go. I feel bad. I'm basically copying this person's picture, but whatever. Alright. Because I am so not drawing this curve when I couldn't get it right last time. Hold on, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. I am cheating so hard on this, but like I said, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Alright. I almost wonder if I could get away with drawing half his face, and then duplicating the layer and matching it up. Alright, so that's gonna go like that, and then it's gonna point out like that, and then it's also got this coming in here, and then this shape like that. This is nowhere near as sharp as it would be if I were taking the time to draw it correctly, but what can I say? I'm panicking slightly because although I can check my phone, which is right here, I don't want to because that will slow me down, and I don't really want to be slowed down right now. For those of you who are worrying, no, I'm not actually panicking that much. Alright, so then he's got this thing right there, so let's duplicate, layer, rotate, flip horizontally. Yeah, I can bring this together. Let's see, there we go. That might be a little bit too narrow, so I'm just going to do this and connect the top differently. You know what? I think I can fake it if I do this. Alright. So there's this. Bring that down. Alright, I think that's a okay Genji face. Genji face sounds like a really weird term of endearment. I don't know. Maybe I've been watching too much Dan Versus because it reminds me of the bro face thing from Dan Versus Stupidity. Anyone who has seen that episode was tragically ahead of its time. It's weird watching that episode now. But, you know, some people say it's weird watching The Simpsons now, especially the older episodes. Because sometimes cartoons hit the nail on the head. So, yeah. That's basically what happened. And if you haven't seen Dan Versus, it is a decent cartoon for the most part. And I say decent like well done in terms of satire, not decent as in it has a morally admirable main character. Because Dan, although you can sympathize with him sometimes, is not the person that you want to be. If the show were not from Dan's perspective, he would probably be a regular antagonist. Anyway, since I've got Genji's line art done, I'm gonna see what's going on with you guys. Oh, it's a claymore. I am considering actually buying it. I just did Genji's line art nerdy, so even if I run out of time, which I shouldn't, even if I run out of time, you at least have line art of your request done. So now it's on to Zen-Aku. I purposely draw this guy from the back every time to avoid actually having to put detail into him. That did not quite work this time. Anyway, so, yeah, time to draw Zen-Aku, which it would probably help if I pulled up my reference of him. Here we go. Nah. Oh, come on, I had one that I thought was working. Alright, fine. Okay, there we go. Let's see, he's got this thing in the back. There we go. I'm just gonna draw his spikes the easy way, because I'm being cheap here. Let's see. There we go. This is probably wildly inaccurate, but I'm not here for accuracy, I'm here for awesome concepts. So, here's his bracer. This is another problem with using Easy Poser, is that all of their models are roughly the same, are like the exact same build. The only one they have variations of is the female model, and even then, the only variations on her are the breast size. And so it's not very useful for drawing beefy guys like Zen-Aku over there. Don't get me wrong, the male model that they use isn't bad, it's just a normal looking guy. So instead of being particularly intimidating, he's just kind of there. But again, it's very useful for me because I've been trying to do more realism lately, because realism is a good way to make your stylized things look better. Sometimes. I don't know. Pablo Picasso would disagree, but the point is, I've been trying to do more realism, so cartoony styles have kind of been slipping from what I can do. And it's not good to lose skills. It's good to be able to do realism, but it's also good to be able to do simplified styles. Because because I personally feel that you should pick the style you use with a purpose. Okay, I need to fill in some line art here. Let's see where this needs to be filled in. That needs to be filled in there. And then this boot could be filled in there. That needs to be filled in there. And he's got an arm over here. I need to remember that people have arms, apparently. Alright, let's try it again. That's better. Okay. Need to fill in some line art over here. Fill that in. And just to be safe. Alright, I think that should cover everything. Alright. I'm just going to color pick from Zenaku over here and use that as the base for both of them. Actually, if I select layer, there we go. I can actually... that's what's wrong. I forgot that this is supposed to go down there. And then I'll just use layer 1. There we go. Protect alpha. Now to pull up a picture of Saïx. I forgot to set this back to canvas. There we go. That's okay, I can fix that later. And then he's got feathery blue hair. Zenaku I can probably leave just about as he is. I'm not gonna, if I can get away with it. But, let's see. He's got this here. And I'm actually going to add a few highlights to Zenaku since I've got this color selected. These are probably not in the right place at all, but it will have to do. Alright. Here we go. We'll just use this to cut off the excess. There we go. And then zoop, zoop, zoop. Like that. There we go. Now I can go to my color palette, pick something to use for his teeth and the whites of his eyes, because we actually get to see that. Alright, there's this guy. And then he's got kind of that color eyes. Then there. And I think I might even be able to use one of these lighter colors for his scar, just because. Nah, I think I'm gonna use one of the darker colors from the model there. And now I can open up a different image. Come on. There we go. And his claymore thingy is kind of a silvery color with purple and yellow accents. Interesting choice. Let's see. But, yeah, I haven't actually had too much experience with Kingdom Hearts outside of Sir Kunamat's streams, but I see why people like it. I might even get the game for myself to play it and stuff, but I'm not sure. It's just gonna depend. But it's okay. Alright, so we've got yellow here, and yellow no, that's actually light purple, but yellow is over here. And then I can just surround that with purple. And yeah, I can delete this layer now, pull it down under here, and then I'm thinking for the background, something kind of explosion-y looking. Alright, so here we go. Get out of there, Google. Foreground, background, circular. And then, there we go. I'm just gonna take this and then radiating lines. From there's good. Alright. And then I'm just going to select from this layer. Hold on. You know what? That was the right idea. And then let's go to select, expand. Let's do 20. Maybe another 20. I'll just do another 10 to be safe. This color up, clipping. There we go. That should be fine. What do you guys think? Hey, welcome. Glad you could make it. I think I have done a pretty good job with this. I have 10 minutes left, so I'm just gonna knock this one out real quick, and then maybe try to color in Genji. Alright, so, new layer. I have drawn this character before, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to use a really thick, maybe thicker. That will have to do for now. I can always duplicate the layer. Alright. And then we've got these spikes along the back. And then I'm gonna go like this. Do some big shiny teeth with a sparkle, because why not? Or, you know what, I'm gonna add the sparkle later. I'm taking a little bit more creative liberty this time than I usually do. Okay, so that should work. Now let's duplicate and scoot it over just a bit to give it a little line width variation. That looks good. And now I'm just going to take this and fill it in, since this is the only part of the character that's going to get color because it's mostly stick figure. And then it's got orange spikes, some shiny white teeth, and I'm just going to fill that in, and boom. And then I'm going to go on this layer with about a 60 at least brush. And I'm just going to go. I did not want to do that. I wanted to do like that. And like this, and then this, like this, and he's got finger guns. I'm just trying to delineate the shape of the finger guns, which is not easy considering that the hand is all the same color. And then this is going to go back, and then finger gun some more. And yeah, I think I can call that one done. Did not take too long, and I still have 4 minutes to dash in Genji's color. So let's select, not on this layer. Huh, that's not filled in. I see where the gap is. There we go. And Genji is mostly a light gray. I'm going to give it the slightest green tint. And fill in the layer here. I'm going to open up my Genji reference to make sure I get this right. Desktop Genji. Here we go. And for this, I am just using the official reference thingy from Blizzard, I think. I don't know if it's meant to be a reference, but I'm using it as one because it looks like official art. I could be wrong. I don't play Overwatch. I would like to, but that's just what happens when you're not good at games. When you're not good at games, you do not get to play them. Alright, so then he's got this brownish color for his neck thing. There we go. And then we need a really dark black for this, but then underneath that we're gonna have green, and then I'm just gonna go above here, and that is too thick. There we go. And then make that even thinner with this. I have a thing that I'm gonna do, and it's gonna look pretty cool, I hope. And then filter, blur, not that much. Okay. There we go. And we're just going to make sure that this is going to fill in properly. Go. What time do we have? Okay, we are right at quitting time, but I'm just going to merge this down and add a handful more details because I think that a couple more details would be cool. So we'll do some shading on the scarf. And then put some shading here, I think, is how the shading on his head works. There we go. And then I'm just gonna use this layer and play around with some shading over here and down here and across here. You know what, I can just use my bucket tool for that one. Alright. There we go. There's our Genji. So, yeah, now that that's done, I can take the to-do list and just remove everything that we did during this stream. And yeah, if you have any requests for next stream, you can contact me at any of my contact links in the description. I do like having a nice big queue of a to-do list, because it lets me plan my streams a few weeks in advance. So the more the merrier, and yeah, I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your day or night or whatever it is, wherever you are, and I'll see you again later, hopefully. Bye!